Greetings everyone, Retro Indie Gamer here with Nintendo Weekend, and today I have a special treat. The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess on the GameCube. Why? Because today it's been exactly 10 years since this game came out on the GameCube, and it also means exactly 10 years since I got this game on the GameCube. Because I got Twilight Princess on the GameCube the day it came out there, and the copy you're looking at right now is the same copy I got all the way back then. And I have gotten the Wii one since then, but I still prefer this one. Well, without further ado, let's see if we can get through about, say, half hour of this game, give or take. Now, as a warning ahead of time, I should mention that I'm not going to be showing any cutscenes at all of this game. I'll edit those out. Well, onto this well, I don't know if I'd say amazing game, but great game. Well, here we are with the opening title screen for Twilight Princess. With Link and Epona riding across, I think is that Elden Bridge or Lanado Bridge? Looks like Elden Bridge. Anyway, we're not going to get that far. So we're trying to recreate the Ocarina of Time title screen here. Not that I can fault Nintendo for doing that. You know, I think trying to lean too heavily on Ocarina of Time was one of the biggest problems with this game. But anyway. I must not played this game on this memory card before. So perfect. I was probably going to delete a new save to start a new one anyway. Okay, as I'm using the default names. Can make adjustments in television. Alright, took care of that. Okay, here's where I'll start the Let's Play. And in case you're wondering, I just edited out the opening scene. I'm only showing parts where you actually control every character. Now I'll talk to Fado here. And I'll get Epona from the woods over here. I'll pick up a rock, and I get a rupee. And now I'm thinking to myself, man, has it really been 10 years since this game came out? I mean, I was like 12 then. And I remember all the times Twilight Princess kept getting delayed. Funny, that seems to be a recurring theme with Nintendo's console Zelda games lately. Because both of the console Zelda games we've had since then, Twilight, Skyward Sword, and Breath of the Wild, both of those games have had numerous delays. Which, while I'm not entirely sure if they benefited Twilight Princess, they might have benefited, well, they might not benefit Twilight Princess, but I feel they did benefit Skyward Sword more than that of it. And as one I should mention, I probably will talk about certain spoilers pertaining to Twilight Princess. I mean, but well, the game has been out for 10 years, so. Okay, anyway, so now Link can get his horse. I can talk to his horse. Sure, I can do that. Okay, you're not going to hear the audio here because I always cut those out. I never include the game audio in any of my videos. But he has played Epona's song and got the horse. No promises, Elia. Yes, I'm gonna help with the rain etc. Okay, wrong way. But before I continue, I should change the lock-on type to switch for targeting. It always works better that way for me. But man, yeah, Twilight Princess is really the first Zelda game that with the first Zelda game launch I remember and actually got at launch. I mean, I didn't get the Wii version, which came out like a month earlier. But like I said, I got the GameCube version when they came out, which was this day 10 years ago. Dun, 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 dun. Ah, Ordon Village. Yeah, this exact day 10 years ago. It's hard to believe it's been that long. But man, it has been. Oh, some of your characters. Okay, time to go to the ranch. And herd those stupid goats. Yeah, I currently playing for all Zelda games. And I'm not supposed to get to this game for a while. Considering right now I'm only up to, what, Link's Awakening? But I figured I should do this because it's the 10th anniversary of this version of the game. And yeah, like I said, this is the first Zelda game whose launch I actually remember. Yeah, because the year that this was originally supposed to come out, 2005, was the year I got into Zelda. Granted, I already had a couple of the games by then. I mean, I already had the Wind Waker, which was the first game in the series I ever played. Yes, I'll do a Street Fighter. Then between 2005 and 2006, I managed to round up, pun not intended, most of the Zelda games. Well, again, there, you stupid goat. Yeah, I round up most of the Zelda games between 2005 and 2006. Da, 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 da. Oh, get in there, goat. Just don't attack me and knock me off my horse. Man, I love this series. But anyway, so yeah, prior to 2005, I already had a couple Zelda games, like I mentioned, the Wind Waker. Okay, I'm not going to run the guy over. Okay, get in the barn! Get in the barn! Okay, I'll be sure to do that. About day, want to practice with the fences? Nah! You know, I just realized how many homages there are to older Zelda games. Because, like, the thing jumping over a fence to get out of the ranch, harking back to Ocarina of Time. But anyway, for me getting all the Zelda games, well, prior to 2005, I had Wind Waker. I got the Wind Waker a few days after I got my GameCube. Yes, I want to save. Around the same time, I was able to get both the first two Zelda games in the Classic series, in the Classic NES series. Anyway, what the hell is that? The music from the Wind Waker and Ocarina of Time. But anyway, for Zelda games, yeah, I was able to get the first two on the Game Boy Advance NES Classic Edition shortly after I got the Wind Waker. And I want to say 2004. Actually, no, it had to have been early 2005. Yeah, it had to have been early 2005. Look, it's the kids in the village. Talo, Malo, and Beth here. Oh, a slingshot, aka the Zelda item is always the most useless. And no, it's only useful until you get the bow, then it's useless. Okay, I need to remember to get that slingshot. Which I remember was about 50 rupees, give or take. There's Colin. Okay, let's go gather rupees. But anyway, for getting all Zelda games. Yeah, after I really got into the series, I got a couple more around in late 2005 and early 2006. Starting with the Wind. Okay, I'll talk to you. Okay, let's go throw pumpkins and get rupees. But yes, and yes, similar towards like the end of 2005, I was able to get the Minish Cap, which I realized actually come out earlier that year. Then, of course, for the next couple of years, I got the Wind Waker, A Link to the Past, Game Boy Advance version. No, not Wind Waker, Four Swords Adventures. Then the Game Boy Advance remake, A Link to the Past. Oh, time to get the fishing ball, get the fishing rod. Oh yeah, okay, shut up. But yeah, Twilight Princess. I've played this game several times over the past 10 years. And I have to say, there's some parts of this game that I like, and other parts that I definitely do not. For instance, I think this game really, for instance, I love the first third of the game. Up through the later province when you get to after we get the 3 pieces of the Fused Shadows. But everything after that, it feels like the game's quality took a nosedive from the fourth dungeon onward to the end of the game. Not to mention there are certain things that they did which really could have been done better, like the way they handled Ganon, which I was all for when the game came out. But looking back at it now, he should not have been in this game. I mean, Zan could have easily, if Zan was written better, he could have held this game on his own. Yeah, Ganon should not. Oh shit. Yeah, Ganon should not have been in this game. Plain and simple. I don't mind that he was in it, but he definitely shouldn't have been in here. Trying to get this thing to the shore. Mainly because, or rather, Ganon should have been worked into the plot better. Okay. Here we are. Okay, shut up and give me my fishing balls. Yes, I'll take it up here. But anyway, yeah, this game, Twilight, yeah, the way Ganon was handled in Twilight Princess, I feel was really poor. He's essentially shoehorned in because he was the main villain in the rest of the games. And Nintendo must have taken note that they don't need him every single time, because he's only appeared once since Twilight Princess. I'm not counting Breath of the Wild yet because that game's not out, but that'll be a second time when that comes out. That'll be a second time he's appeared since Twilight Princess. The other time he appeared was A Link Between Worlds, and he wasn't even the main villain there. If he wasn't even the main villain there. I keep forgetting how the controls in this game work, anyway. Now, the Wii version of this game is one I have a few issues with. The motion controls, sort of, but that's not entirely my issue with it, because, which granted, I'm a little biased with the motion controls, because I played Skyward Sword on the Wii before I got the Wii version of Twilight Princess. Because for the longest time, even years afterwards, the Wii version was $50. Yeah, it was full price, even used. Even 7 years on, it wasn't until Nintendo put it in their Nintendo Selects that I was able to get a copy of the Wii version. I must say, everything being flipped around it's still confusing to me. I mean, Twilight Princess, everything in the Wii version looks strange when it's flipped, because it was flipped. It's similar to the way that, artwork always looks strange when it's flipped. And you can see this if you see a lot of manga that was brought here, especially in, say, the 90s and early 2000s, where oftentimes the artwork would be flipped to correlate with how books are read in North America, left to right as opposed to right to left like they are in Asian countries. Which was a huge problem. Oh, time for one more annoying thing in Twilight Princess. Every time you turn the game off and reboot it, you get this every time you pick up the higher value rupees. Funny, Skyward Sword has something similar, but with the monster pieces instead of the it was the pieces of the all those monster pieces, and not with the game itself. No, but not rupees. That was strange. Wait, how is this thing again? It's been a while since I played this. How to use this thing? Seriously, what? Why can't I... Seriously, have I forgotten? What the... The C button. The C stick. I'd forgotten about that. How did I forget the C stick? Because in the GameCube ports of the Nintendo 64 Zeldas, that was used for all the items. I can't believe I forgot how to do that. You got a green gill. These small fish live everywhere. But anyway, yeah, I have a lot of issues with Twilight Princess. I mean, I love it, but like I said, I pretty much have issues with the way they handle Ganon. Nintendo must have taken that criticism head on because, given the fact that Ganon has barely been used since this game. Like I said, he's only appeared once, technically twice, if you count Skyward Sword, but I consider Demise a proto-Ganon, more than that a bit. But, for me, and given that the only appearance that Ganon appeared as himself since Twilight Princess was in A Link Between Worlds, and he wasn't even the main villain in there, Yuga was. he basically siphoning Ganon's power. But mostly because it was because the impression I got was that the Ganon and Link Between Worlds was the revived mindless raging one from the Oracle games. But man, the way Ganon was handled with it. Now, if they had him present from the beginning of the game, I would have had more respect for him in this game. But he essentially shoehorned in. You don't even realize he's the main villain until the end, until Zant reveals himself to be a mindless lunatic. Now, yeah, it looks like Nintendo took this criticism head on with Skyward Sword with the way they handled Demise and Girahim. Because some people complain that Demise was just shoehorned in like Ganon was here. Except the case with Demise, his presence was made clear from the beginning of the game, even before you meet Girahim, who was definitely the main villain of that game. Yo, don't waste food. It'll grow back quickly. This is a computer program after all. Yeah, that's one. But yeah, and the dungeon quality felt very different in the second half, in the second 2/3 of the game. And it's interesting, but there are some things I liked, like the thing of a previous Link being Link's sword instructor, the hero spirit. And by the way, I knew that long before Hyrule Story confirmed it. Like, I knew from the start that it was the Ocarina of Time Link. Or at least that was a previous Link. In fact, he was called the Hero's Shade or the Hero's Spirit. I've seen him called both. And that's one of the things that I already knew. Anyway, okay, I didn't mean to throw you in the water, stupid pumpkin. Ow. But anyway, other issues with, the game design seemed to take a nosedive in the second half, too. And it had more elements than the older games. And, like I said, one that made a problem that I had with Twilight Princess is that feels like they were taking it. Because remember one of the things in the, because Nintendo Power had that series for a while on basically everything about the development of the game. Which was a very interesting read, but there are some parts of that, looking back, really annoy me. Because one thing they said they wanted to do was they wanted to make it as different as they could from Ocarina of Time. And I feel they made one that was too similar to it. Yeah. Yeah, looking at this game 10 years on, it's easy to look at some of the things that they did right and some of the things they did wrong. Now, I like the overall tone of the game with its darker tone than the other Zelda games. The only other one having a dark tone, arguably being being Majora's Mask. But of course, Twilight Princess is the only game in the series that's rated T. Just by himself, my ass. I caught this fish. Genius. No, he steals fish. Okay, thank you for the bottle. I should have used that. This is Zelda game after all. The most abuse for fairies. Yes, it is. Subtle environmental message there. Yes. Let's see. Oh, it was 30. It was 30. Yep, I'll be getting a lot of seeds, but now this link shot is one where it feels really poorly handled in this game. Because you don't even get to, because as soon as you get to the second dungeon, you get the bow and arrow, which is much better, in making the slingshot useless. Now I see Skyward Sword is basically taking everything that Twilight Princess did and improving it. Because that's essentially what Nintendo did. Fix the way they handled the main villain, and here Ganon and the other one Proto Ganon. Because how else could you define demise? It also showed fixed some and a couple other things like the way they handled Zant in Twilight Princess. Yes, kid, let's go around the rocks, going for grass. You'll find all the money. And don't forget the pumpkins. Okay, now shoot these targets with a slingshot. Let's see. Yes, I hit it. Okay, I'll shoot the remaining targets. Oh, crap. Gotcha. More targets down. There's one thing where the Wii version was a little better. It had the crosshair. And I led the Scarecrow. Twilight Princess, it had a lot of flaws. And I feel that most of those flaws are ironed out with Skyward Sword. Like the way it handled its villain. Like, mainly how it handled its villains. Because in this game we had the main villain, the villain behind the main one, Ganon, who was essentially shoehorned in and coming out of left field. Then we have a villain. Then we have Zant, who started out all composed of a calm demeanor. Oh, I don't want to go. I don't want to go up there until I kill this guy. And then at the end of the game, it's real that Zant's a complete maniac. A complete and utter maniac. As opposed to Girahim in Skyward Sword, where he had an insane demeanor from the first place, but he was insane, but he also had a calm demeanor. And his sort of eccentric act he pulled early on, he did less and less as the game went on, showing it was just an act. Possibly to lure his enemies off guard. Oh, time for the wooden sword. Yes, it's the wooden sword. Now, the way I see Twilight Princess and Skyward Sword is similar to the way I see Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks. Because Phantom Hourglass also had a lot of problems, which Spirit Tracks addressed and fixed. Which is why of the two DS games I prefer Spirit Tracks over Phantom Hourglass. But I like both of them because all the true Zelda games, as in the ones made by Nintendo or ones that and the ones that were done by Capcom, like the Minish Cap and the Oracles. Yeah. Oh yes, the stab. This one's a little irritating. Yeah, like a sword. Pick the whole beam and release it. Yeah, it's been the same since A Link to the Past. Or this move the control stick to the circle and then press B. And anyone who's played a Zelda game since A Link to the Past knows how to use the. Oh, look, Mallow's the only one who's actually any help in this game. Because he establishes a general store in Kakariko. Okay, time to chase them down. Come here, you! Yeah, I'll probably play through up until the end. We can take opponent and run into the woods. Yeah, I'll probably play till the end of this particular section. But yeah, Twilight. Yeah, looking at this game 10 years on, it's nice to easy to see the improvements it made to the series, and also ones it didn't. Like I said, my main issue with this game that it felt too similar to Ocarina of Time. Nintendo claimed they were trying to make a game that was, or at least the developers claimed they were trying to develop a game that was very different from Twilight Princess, no, from Ocarina of Time. And doing so, I feel they made a game that felt too much like it. Now that's a bad thing because Ocarina of Time is really good. Oh shit. Okay. But we could have done better. The one thing I do like in this game are the boss fights. And the Wolf Link, who actually got more of a use later in the game when you can switch between the wolf and human forms at will after you get the Master Sword. It's the hippie. Hey guy. Agate lanterns will come into use relatively soon. You won't be able to use it without oil, so be sure to refill it. Yes, it is. It's just like giving away razors to sell blades. Nah, I'm not going to set fire to that box. I know it's in there in the game anyway. I don't go anywhere near it, and I don't go anywhere near that crap. Okay, where to next? I don't want to go there. I was going to go back to the... Yes, I need to go through here. Dismounted. Is it time to fight? Yes, a Deku Baba. And I got pumpkin seeds. Filling up my slingshot completely. I got more rupees. The wooden sword. I wonder if they went through here. Oh yes, they did. Okay, I keep forgetting. What's interesting about some Zelda games is that when you get through all the idiosyncrasies of one game, you go to the next game and you do things that work in that game, and it gets a completely different response. Now, one example of this was with the Game Boy Advance ones, when I was playing the Game Boy Advance remake of Link to the Past. And right afterwards, I decided to play through the Minish Cap. And, well, in the Game Boy Advance version, you get so used to dealing with pressing a Link to the Past, you get used to pressing Select to get to the item screen. But in the Minish Cap, pressing Select activates Ezlo, who to me is one of the more irritating Zelda sidekicks. But at the same time, he's also one of the more interesting ones that comes to the story. The former feature of Zelda of one of the big bads of Zelda, Vati, a villain who I hope Nintendo visits again. Though I doubt they will, given his death in Four Swords Adventures. Though granted, given the timeline, he's still alive on 2 of those timelines. Though I don't know about the adult timeline since Hyrule was erased, but He very well could have been. He very well could have been alive there. Considering he was sealed in another dimension. Now, I definitely hope Nintendo... Now, there's definitely certain things I hope Nintendo does with the series. For one thing I would love to see Nintendo do would make a full-fledged Zelda RPG. I mean, look at all the races that exist in the Zelda series. And all the lands that exist. Nintendo could easily make a story-based RPG with this. Hell, I'm surprised they haven't. Finding a balance between the gameplay and story. I mean, one series that I would like Nintendo to take a look at for how they could improve the Zelda series is the East series, because it's similar to this in how it's mostly action based, but they usually have a pretty good story in them. Maintaining a balance between story and gameplay, which Nintendo has yet to master with Zelda. Especially when they do things like they did here with Twilight Princess, like shoehorning Ganon in. Well, one thing I do like about Twilight Princess is that Twilight Princess has who I think is the best probably the best sidekick in the series. In the form of Midna. She's easily... Oh, time to fight a Bok Goblin. Back from the Wind Waker. You know, one thing I read recently is that this is originally supposed to be a sequel to the Wind Waker, which does not surprise me in the least. I mean, it has a lot of the same enemies. Not to mention, it reuses a lot of the Wind Waker sound effects. I find it interesting when games like this use this, because Nintendo usually uses different engines for all their games. Or at least they modify an engine significantly enough. Die, bats, you stupid keys. Those are the most irritating enemies in the whole thing. Okay, some of the most annoying enemies. Yeah, okay, but I have a wonder. Can anyone think of a game where bats or bats or at least bat-like enemies are, or any sort of flying enemy are not annoying? Can I think of a lot of good game series? Let's see, pretty much any RPG series. Castlevania. How many games do you think of where can anyone think of any games where the enemies that were flying enemies, especially enemies who fly in a sign pattern, in that wavy pattern, like the bats in Castlevania or Medusa heads? Can anyone find a game with enemies like those where they're not annoying and a major irritant? If so, please tell me in the comments, because I would love to see that. Heart piece number 1. Yeah, for some reason, I don't know why Twilight Princess did this. I don't know why they made it so you needed 5 pieces per heart container. And it's interesting seeing this one. Now, if I ever get Wii U, I might take a look at the HD remake of Twilight Princess, which looks like it's based off of the GameCube version, off of this version I'm playing right now. Mostly because it would probably takes long to modify the motion controls to button controls, but I'm sure it can be done. Because Nintendo seems to like releasing older games and some of their older titles on newer platforms lately. Die! Hell, they've done it ever since the Wii came out with the Virtual Console. And one Zelda game that might be a little bit troublesome from the port to future consoles in the future will be Skyward Sword because of its motion controls. Because Skyward Sword has one of the best examples of motion controls, but The only thing is, it came out rather late in the Wii's lifespan. Yeah, it came out it came out like 5 years into the Wii's lifespan. They released their failed Wii U about a year later. I mean, seriously, the Wii U is probably the only Nintendo system I have very little interest in. I mean, the only reason I would probably get it would be for Breath of the Wild. But since that's also coming out on the Switch, I'll probably just try and get my hands on one of those. Then the thing about possibly being postponed until summer of next year, I'd actually prefer if I did that from a personal standpoint. Okay, I'm not going to buy anything from you. So you can steal from that guy. Though stealing from shopkeepers in Zelda games is never a good idea. So sometimes it leads to funny results. Like in Link's Awakening. Yeah, because in Link's Awakening, there's a part... Yeah, in Link's Awakening, there's a part of the game where you can steal from the shop owner in the main village. But if you do that, not only will you be referred to as favors all characters from that point onwards. Die! Quit your whining, kid. I'm gonna save your hide right now. And I'm done cutting through grass. Okay, shut your whining, you stupid monkey. And the kid. Yahoo! We're saved! We're saved! Okay, today I'll take care of the part with, I'll take care of the second time with the whole herd goats. And then that'll be the end of the stream of the Let's Play for today. Now I heard 20 of these bloody things into the barn. And I'm not going to whoop any of them until they get close to the barn. Because I don't want any angry goats on my tail. Okay, go towards the barn. Get in the barn, you stupid goat. Come on, get in. And don't do this. Just circling around. Get in. Thank you. Have a nice day, goat. In the barn. Or rather, have a nice evening, because I'm sure your day is over. You're in. Okay, now get the rest of these guys in. Get in the barn. And I haven't even gotten half these things in yet. These guys like going in any direction they can. Get in the barn! Get in the barn. There you are. Da, 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 da. Get in the barn. Get in. They're like, oh, let's make sure your game plays that much longer. Now I'll probably have to do this one more time later to get one of the heart pieces. Oh crap! Angry goat, angry goat. And he goes in! The goat gets really angry and he still goes into the barn. Okay, stay ahead of the pack. Don't go behind. Okay, you're going in that barn whether you like it or not, goat. Okay, one more. One more of these little suckers. There you are. Get in the barn. Get in the barn. Gotcha! Okay, got him in the barn. You're afraid I second so unusual. Stupid goats. Well, that's all for Twilight Princess today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe. And until next time, everyone.